Welcome, guys. Welcome back to Coolwoman Central Podcast. I'm your host, Sophia, and I'm joined by my mom, Alison. And we are walking through everything pop culture from a Gen Z and a Gen X perspective. And thanks for tuning in. So, quick reorientation. It's been a second. We've been gone for a minute. A lot has happened. And it is officially summer. So, everything is hot and ready to go. Last episode, we were really deep into Oscars, March Madness, and all this stuff. But, since then, we've had Met Gala, all this stuff. And now here we are in June. Like, it is just so much. But for me, why I've been gone is I just got back from an amazing 20-ish day vacation in Ireland and Austria.
And
So,
and you took that, why? To celebrate that you are done with graduate school. You
yes,
are a new MBA graduate. Congratulations.
thank you.
We had a lot of fun going and celebrating that and
Yeah, I was
packing up your college um, living situation and
get
moving you. Uh,
getting to do it one more time was definitely an experience. It's always an experience, but we had to do it one more time, so I can appreciate that and thank you guys for your help. It was definitely an experience, guys. I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of clothes. So, needless to say, though, yes, I took that trip because I graduated with my MBA. So it was really exciting to take that long of a trip. It was, around 3 weeks. So, I mean, just to get into it, we started in Ireland. So we flew in to Dublin and we spent a few days there. And then we went to Killarney, and then from there
Not
we
me.
traveled.
When you say we.
When I say we, I say me and my partner. So my mom was
Yes.
not there, but I was filling them in. I was sending them pictures. They were like, "Don't send too many pictures a day," and I was definitely sending too many pictures a day. But I just had to. It was so beautiful there. Ireland was so green. I had the best, like me and my partner had the best time. Like it was just fantastic. They have so many sheep there, and their railways were fantastic because we'd just get on the train from Dublin. Because originally our plan was to drive, but we ended up just deciding let's try the public transport. So we did everything from railway to we did have a few taxis, Uber, car situations to see. We were on a ferry at some point. Awesome experience, so tens across the board. One of the things that we did there that was really interesting was I had the chance to see the Princess Diana revenge dress. And if you know me, this was literally like my Super Bowl. I ended up seeing it at the Museum of Style Icons in Newbridge in Count Kildare. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but we had to literally go from Dublin and then like get off the train and go there. We showed up with our suitcases, like it was crazy. But this museum itself, which I would be so interested to hear what you have to say, Mom, because it was literally like on top of a silverware factory, basically. So, like, it was a silverware factory and then had a store. And admission to this museum was free 99. So we showed up with our suitcases. We're getting in the elevator. We're going up. We're the only ones in there. But it was really awesome. It's about 40 minutes outside of Dublin. So if you have the
So
opportunity to visit, I would do it.
So when you say it was a silverware factory, when we say silver, like, do we mean like real silver or like flatware, stainless?
Both. Both.
Okay.
Yeah, both.
Okay. And then they have a store. Do you mean they sell the product that they make there? Is that what was in the store?
I looked through the store because like me and Aiden, my partner, were joking about how much money was I gonna spend in the gift shop. Well, there was not, to my knowledge, there was not a gift shop for this because it was literally in a
Okay.
silverware store. So like they had really nice jewelry in there. They had some vintage jewelry. They had some of their own like silver that was obviously produced
Okay.
there. But then you could also buy like a fork and a spoon. It,
Okay.
it
It's
was really
interesting.
it was very interesting and it was free. So
And so how did the revenge dress though end up like in this museum? You said there are other style or fashion related things in this museum, correct?
correct. So
Okay.
everything that's in there has been, I guess, purchased by the museum specifically for the revenge dress. This dress was sold at auction in June, actually, 19 97 for about $74,000. And then
Wow, that feels like a bargain, actually.
I know, right? Well, with how
Yeah,
iconic it is.
right.
Then there was a Scottish collector that bought it and he still owns it, but he keeps it, in a bank vault, but he loans it for exhibition. So it was loaned to the museum.
Okay.
From my knowledge, I'm trying to think. I might need to look at this. Okay. So I guess this was my bad, but this was the one that's in the Newbridge Museum is a detailed replica. But what's it called? They also had, I'll insert pictures because I took a lot of pictures while I was there, guys.
Hmm.
Sitting there snapping away at everything. Like a lot of her designs from her wedding dress and stuff like that. So it wasn't like the final result, but it was like one of her try-ons,
Okay.
which was really interesting. And they had like, I took a lot of pictures. So I'm gonna insert them all here, guys, and you can take a look. And I could insert some captions too, just to tell you what you're looking at because I can't, this trip was so long, I could tell you, but the museum itself was really interesting because not only did they have the Diana stuff, but they had stuff from Audrey Hepburn and Barbra Streisand, and they had something from the Pride and Prejudice when it was like a show. They had like a set from the Beatles. It was really interesting what was in that museum. And like I said, there was nobody in there. By the time that we had gone in there, it was like the last hour. So I literally spent that last hour in there just like looking at all the clothes, all the stuff, taking so many pictures. I'm sure I'll carousel through it here. And it looked like they were actually going to host like a private event there that night because then we saw like caterers bringing stuff up, which I think is really interesting. Like, what type of event are you hosting in there? But I feel like it was really awesome because the energy was really good in there too.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend if you are crossing that way in Ireland, if you want to go look at some iconic fashion, that is the place to do it. I mean, they really had some interesting picks. And then besides that, got to experience Ireland a lot. We did some hiking. We met some really awesome people throughout the journey. Their candy over there is so good. I bought so much candy. I have so much candy and it's so yummy. I can't stop eating it really. And then, we even went to a Gaelic football match. And we saw the team called Kerry and Donegal, and it was such an experience to be so immersed. And the people of Ireland were so nice. They were just amazing. It was fantastic. And then, we saw the Cliffs of Moher, which like was really awesome because if you're a Harry Potter fan, they're in the Harry Potter Half-Blood Prince. Like it was just awesome, awesome time. We rode bikes, everything like that. And then we went to Austria, which Austria was also really lovely. We did some hiking there. We did Vienna, Salzburg, Innsbruck. It was really interesting getting to, compare the cultures, I'd say. And just, I loved the convenience stores over there. They had Centra in Ireland and then they also had Spar in both places. And I mean, you could just get everything in there. It was, me, I love a convenience store. So for me, that was like peak. I loved it. You could literally get anything. I came back with so many little like knickknacks and stuff like that. So I definitely see myself going back, especially to Ireland. It was just so green there. So many animals too, like, and the milk, if you're like a dairy person, all of their dairy is just fantastic. So kudos all
What
around.
what would you say was your favorite moment in Ireland? Because I know you
My
kind of had like a transportation adventure as well.
Yeah, I think honestly, my favorite day, I think, of the trip overall was so I had two favorite days, I think. But my first day, like my absolute favorite, I think, was the day that we did this big hike called the Devil's Ladder. And it was really we use this app called All Trails. I shouldn't say we, it's more Aiden uses it and he's like, let's go this way. And I am trucking along as well, but it was so gorgeous. I'll put in some pictures as well. It was the most beautiful hike ever, but what made that day so I think the best day was just like how it all came together. So we got up super early for this hike. We taxied to the mountain to the bottom where we start this hike. We start hiking, we get up to the top, and at some point, I mean, we are climbing vertical up these rocks. I've never done anything like that before, so it was definitely a new experience for me, but I had so much fun. I was like, this is a new I love exercise like that. I feel like releases all my endorphins, so I'm just like so excited to do it. So we get to the top and it's like so cloudy and we can't go over. And so we ended up waiting up for this group of guys that had come after us, a little after us. They come back down probably like 45 minutes to an hour, and we all just really connected. He was lovely. Shout out Eugene. He was amazing. I've never seen, it was his 36th time doing this climb, like walking around this mountain. I was like, you are committed. We really got to know each other. We went down. We got off of this mountain, guys. We had no signal. We had no signal. Not only that, but we were going to the Gaelic football match later that day, which was also in Killarney, which was huge. So none of the Ubers were coming out towards us. We ended up having to catch a ride. Not even having. It was by the literally grace of God that we were blessed with a dairy farmer that drove us from the base of this mountain to as close as he could into town. It was, you just couldn't make it up. You really couldn't. To this day, I mean, I learned so. I asked him, how many cows do you have? And he was like, not that many. I only have 60. It's like, you have more cows than me, sir. So it was just, the people of Ireland were so nice. They truly have the biggest hearts. That day alone was just like the best, in my opinion. And Aiden had even said, like, this is going to be my favorite day of vacation. And he was so right about it. Like, I walked away and I was like, yeah, you were right. This was the best day of vacation. So that was my
Yeah.
favorite moment in Ireland.
So that's, yeah. uh, Just thinking about, I mean, any other place that you may go here being like stranded
Right.
after a hike and needing to get somewhere and just getting in a vehicle with some random person, right? I mean, those are
The
kind of life experiences, right?
the idea of it is kind of crazy, but like, very nice guy. He was there with his wife and child. Like, it was, I don't know. I have a pretty good gut, so I feel like if my gut was being like,
Yeah.
oh, don't get in this car, like, but we did not have any experiences in Ireland that were poor or anything. We stayed in a castle and near Tillamore. We did, all these different tours and stuff like that. So it was a really awesome time. And like I said, Austria was really great too. But I think for me, the big one was Ireland.
Okay. And you did some glamping too, right?
Yeah, yeah, we stayed in like a fancy little glamping pod tube thing. I don't know. It was good because it wasn't too far from Killarney where we were going. It was literally like, I think, one or two stops on the railway that way. So we would just get on the train and go out to where we needed to go. But our little glamping accommodation was really nice because it was just so quiet. It was so clean. I mean, like, and our host was really good. I have to go and get a list of all of the places that I need to like leave a review for.
I love that. I love it. And your travels back were pretty smooth as well. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, travels back were pretty smooth. I was like, oh, I don't want vacation to end. So we'll see. I definitely see more international travel for me because that was so much fun. It also teaches you a lot about what clothes you want to actually pack. There were some things that I did not end up wearing, so taught me a lot about what I should consider next time and what I don't need. But I think that's the benefit to having that first time. So, but on
Awesome.
that note, a lot going on. The New York Knicks just won the NBA final. So if you don't know, or if you
Yes.
live under a rock, the New York Knicks just played the San Antonio Spurs. It was tight and then it wasn't. It's been interesting seeing how the Knicks have handled it, but the Knicks aren't really the focus of the story. I mean, I guess they are in some sense, but Carl Anthony Towns is their center, and he's engaged to Jordyn Woods. And so, if you don't know who Jordyn Woods is, again, you must live under a rock. She used to be friends with Kylie Jenner. She is her own person, though. She is her own person. I'm not connected. I'm just, for some people, that is who they remember her with. But for me, she is her own baddie. She is doing her own things. Like, she is so beautiful, amazing, everything like that. Her and Carl are engaged, okay? They got engaged Christmas Day of 2025. It was real cute. But Woods has been courtside at every single Knicks playoff game. And so they had a really long game streak. Her accessory of choice through all of this has been this little Tux Clutch mini from her own brand called Woods by Jordyn. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend looking it up. It's an orange faux ostrich leather. It like looks like it could be an Hermes bag to me a little bit, like just like the texture of it, It retails for $125. Like, she created this sample for the playoffs specifically, and the Knicks have not lost it since she carried it. And the one day that she couldn't carry it, Not going to say why, but the one day she couldn't carry it in, they lost. So, anyways, fans started tracking the bag. If she was carrying it, the Knicks were winning. Her Instagram posts became like a pre-game ritual. The one day she didn't wear it, she was like, I'm going to turn this bag into shoes, and they still lost. So it's like, girl, it's the bag. You need to carry the bag. So yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on the bag?
Well, so I had totally missed this story until you brought it to my attention. So, first of all, I think it's a really cute bag.
Yeah, it's a cute bag because guys, it's like a clutch, but then it's also like a you can wear it as a crossbody
So, so I
or
thought that
you
was
can
cute.
shoulder bag, whatever.
I think that what I love about this kind of like side story is that, I mean, like sports overall, they always have their, you know, any different teams, whatever, they have their superstitions or their lucky charms or their rituals or their things that they do. And
Right.
I mean, for this playoff, it all centered around a designer and her bag. And so I love that twist to this story.
It's just like so, I don't know, it's so funny because like I saw some people trying to argue about it, be like, oh, like this is she's just trying to market her brand. Well, like why would you not take the opportunity to market your brand in this way? You know what like it's
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
best form of organic marketing that you could probably ask for, in my opinion. Just, being able to like this is my bag. But on that note, with the success of this, I mean, it was already for pre-order, but if you are interested in the bag, the clutch, it's 125, and then the sandals that she made with the same material, which I say are really cute, are 225. So they're both available for pre-order at Woods by Jordyn, and I think they ship in July. So if you guys are interested, I'm just saying I might need a lucky bag. Like I think she knows what she's talking about. But yeah, I just the fashion in the sports and the playoffs has been so interesting. I love looking at what people are wearing. I mean, even like Taylor Swift popped out the other night and people were talking about what she was wearing. She was wearing a t-shirt with like Stevie Nicks or something on it. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's something like everybody's just been pulling up in like crazy stuff, and I love it. I just love to see the creativeness that comes with the sportswear. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like there's so much room for. There's always like I feel like guys have always had a lot of cool sportswear, but I feel like it's like okay, let's like see what the women can come up with. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of the sports brands lack, so I feel like you get these courtside celebrities and they come out with some real original stuff, or they find these niche little brands and stuff like that, or they make their own brand.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of sports and fashion, so we're also here with World Cup,
Right.
starting everywhere, and not something I'm really following very closely. All the side stories, all the
Right.
that have happened. I loved the arrival of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Those men, that men's team, first of all, it's their first time making World Cup since 1974.
And they had to show out for it.
Arrived in style. So that I love that. They all arrived in this matching leopard print look,
Right.
done by an emerging designer, Alvin Mock, I think. So that was it. Just the appearance of that team and just how cool they looked arriving together, all
Right.
dressed in that outfit. I thought that was super cool.
Very unified. I don't know. It just looked it was, I feel like a lot of the time, like, and I have this complaint with like the Met Gala. So, like, I feel like Met Gala and FIFA may not be the same thing, but I like when they bring fashion to sports like this. That's my complaint usually, though, that like the men's suits are a little bit too boring, like they don't want to play with it any. So I
Hmm.
thought this was a really interesting and fun way to do something without it being too much.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I haven't really seen anything else that's coming to mind other than this because this really kind of circulated for a few days. Um,
Right. They were the only one that I saw that I was like, oh, this is like fantastic. This is great. A
yeah,
lot of
so
the other ones were a bit underwhelming, so I'm just like, I don't even need to look at them as much.
yeah, I mean, truly from a fashion perspective, I know there's been a lot of coverage and things like that are out there on social.
Right.
I think it's kind of just starting. I think also FIFA is just sort of that ridiculous layer to it of, you know, erasure of all, any brand.
Yes, have you been seeing all of that? Like where they're
Yeah,
having to cloak all the, they're not calling it Gillette Stadium or Levi Stadium. I saw a picture today of the condiments bottles
yes, I
and
saw
they're
that
all like
too.
taped up. I'm just like, okay, yes, I'm going to the FIFA World Cup and I'm gonna buy Heinz because they're serving Heinz ketchup at the World Cup. Like, what? How does that even?
Yeah, or the wrapping, the covering of stadiums. It was very clever. The Levi Stadium, how they covered the logo. It's like,
Right.
okay, you still know what that is.
Yeah, I can still see it.
So, yeah, I feel like that's been a little bit over the top because to counter that, what's been really fun to watch are all of the international visitors, right? Who are here and who are making social media content and coverage of their maybe some of their first time experiencing, the US state, United
The
States. What am I
culture
trying to
here,
say? The culture here. Yes. Sorry, I'm tripping
the
over myself
the
today.
Western frontier.
And just some of the brands and experiences and things that we just kind of take for granted every day, and so they are making up for that attempt to me by the official organization to just kind of
Right.
like cover up everything. You can't
The
see any
the
it.
visitors have been funny. The visitors have been. It's like the cousin you invite over to play. Like, can we have them over every year? I think it's been really interesting to see it through their eyes. I think it's always refreshing. They're like, it's just like the movies. I'm like, I'm really glad. But no, I love it. I love seeing all the different adventures that people are getting up to. I think these people are doing more than not these people, but you know what I mean? Like these people that are coming here for the World Cup are doing more than most average Americans. So kudos to them for living it up and getting their money's worth. Shout out to Freddie.
Yeah, Freddie's been fun to watch his content for sure.
He's been doing a lot. I've been seeing a lot of the Scotland folk in Boston too. Shout out to them. They look like they're having a good time. And then I know that Ecuador got to Philly, so it's a good time here. It's a good time. Everybody's here. It's definitely getting more busy everywhere, I think. I'll be curious to see what things look like in the next like 4 weeks.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So it'll definitely be something we'll be kind of keeping.
For sure. Have to keep tabs on it.
Yes, for sure. And of course, while you were gone and away, there were some other things that, just been kind of keeping like my attention as
Right.
we are rolling into uh summer, and certainly it feels like things slow down, but in some areas.
In some ways.
Yeah, in some ways, and I couldn't like necessarily continuously send things to you and say, "Oh my gosh, did you see this? Did you see that?" Because certainly, you didn't necessarily want to take time out of your
I also had
wonderful
I
travels.
also had limited data, guys. So when I tell you I had to
Yes.
re-up my data probably 4 times on this trip because I am so bad.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yes. But certainly what's had my attention was the Bonhams auction of the estate of Diane Keaton, because, it's a Gen Xer, she was always like she's like my hero, my go-to kind of style icon person. So was really interesting to see her estate. I've seen it was actually on display, so you could go look at some of it at Bonhams. So I love seeing people going and looking at it ahead of auction time. Some of it took place online as well, but just really, she had an extensive collection of Ralph Lauren,
Right.
and just getting to like to see that, and some of her stuff, like she had an ensemble that she wore to the Academy Awards, I think in 2020. Um, and that ended up selling for like a little over $40,000, I think just under
Whew.
41,000. So that was a custom Ralph Lauren outfit. And there are some really famous photos of her. Like a lot of these outfits that really ended up going on the high side or things that you've seen her photographed in.
She's photographed in.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. Like this, she was a style icon, but she was a collector, and wore her stuff, and or you've seen it. So I think
Right.
that, and then the other thing that it was a Ralph Lauren, was a from like Purple Label, black evening tailcoat and pants. That if you see the outfit, like, okay, yes, I've seen that. She wore it in a runway show, actually. Um, and that ended up going for like $8,300. But they were just a lot of interesting pieces and things from her home and art. She had a lot of art, and stuff like that that also went. I have all of those. You can see all of those links still on Bonham's website. There were four different auctions, and you can go and look at the catalogs for each of those and see the pieces and what they ended up selling for. So that is one of those things that I probably spent a lot of time just looking at.
It's certainly interesting.
Yeah, so definitely. And then on the topic of Ralph Lauren, okay, these just released last week, these Ralph Lauren postage stamps. This is just so cool. I mean, if you just like that style, that kind of Ralph Lauren aesthetic for photography, it's a set of stamps for the 200. And so I ordered the sheet because people are taking these sheets and basically like framing them. But it's all of
Mm.
like their American icons that they've kind of curated from their photography and their stock and their ad campaigns over the years. So it's just something really cool. It just came in the mail yesterday. So like I said, they
Yeah,
just
they're really
released.
cute.
Yeah, they really are. Um I pre-ordered those because I know there was no way that I could go down to my local post office and find that for sure. So ordered the stamp sheet, but I became aware of that because I actually there's a photographer who actually shot some of that work for Ralph Lauren that I follow on Instagram named Carter
Okay.
Berg out of New York. So it was really cool.
Yeah, I think they're really cool. What's your plan for them? Are you going to frame them?
I'm gonna frame them. I just think they're really cute, and I've always loved that aesthetic. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a nice little frame, hang them in my office. So definitely
Awesome.
they're not going out on any, note cards or anything like that. I can't even think of when's the last time I actually used a stamp. Probably just in
Well, I
maybe
know you like collecting like stationery, so I
right.
just would expect you to just have them in general, but
Yes. So yeah, definitely. I mean, we don't pay our bills by mail anymore, right? So
right.
not something that you would even know about. Okay. And then the other thing that I saw on social that I know, I guess I was bored. I spent way too much time on that graphic that was going around a couple of weeks ago about shoes and toe shapes.
And I don't know where this was going around because I did not see this.
I know, like, and you're like, I know, I didn't see it, but I saw it on TikTok and Instagram and everywhere, and I spent like way too much time trying to figure out, do I have like Egyptian or Roman feet? And what's the shape of your toes compared to what kind of shoe, like toe shape, you should wear? I pretty much determined that I think I have Egyptian feet, but
I
for
think
whatever it's
just
worth. And I know you're thinking like, Mom, you're extremely bored already with me traveling for 3 weeks.
just wear what you like.
So yeah, so that's been the start of my summer. So but yeah, other than that, I don't have big summer plans. I've been listening to any new music that has dropped. So while you were gone on your trip, Lady Gaga's Mayhem Requiem dropped. So if you missed that, I would definitely say tune into. I know you're not the fan of that I am, but it's exquisite. It was filmed so you can see like the concert version of it. And now I have like a whole new set of that music because it was re-recorded live and reimagined, and it's all new of it. A lot of the songs are new versions.
Well,
I love that album because all of like the 80s influence that you hear in there.
right.
So it's very throwback to me.
I've been telling you, we gotta listen to our older music too,
So I
because
know, and so yes, and I know that your take on that is that I know you're all about Fame Monster. So
yeah, her older music is where it's at for me. I do like her new music, but I think that all those older ones, walked so Mayhem could run.
yeah, so I definitely get that. I do appreciate them. I think it is so some of the like when you listen to like this current era, you
Hmm.
hear Prince and you hear Michael Jackson and you hear Bowie and you hear Queen and you hear all of those artists that were big for me. And then of course, this past weekend too, another nostalgia point. Keith Urban's Flow State album dropped, and this is his yacht rock album that are all covers of like soft rock songs from the mid 70s. It is just awesome. It is on continuous play right now in this household and in my
So
office. So really, really cool. I know it's probably not your jam, but you just got to listen to it once so you can appreciate what I'm tapping into. It's very nostalgic.
is he the one that's getting a divorce from Nicole Kidman right now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give it a listen.
Yeah, so I know you have your thoughts there. Uh yeah, so that in terms of current entertainment things that I'm tapping into. Again, next here, there's one new song on there
Okay.
that is not a cover that they wrote for the album called We Go Back, but it sounds exactly like it was written in that time, so you don't realize that it's new with Michael McDonald, who is just, very nostalgic for me as well. So,
I'll have to give it a listen, see what it's
okay.
about.
Yeah, I can see you're excited and enthusiastic about it.
I'm willing to give anything a listen, at least once. So,
Yeah. So,
like,
all right. So I also, in our previous episode, okay, I know you were just all about Love Island, new episode launching and coming out and
new
some.
season launching and coming
Well,
out.
yes, new season, yes. So again, I was like, okay, let me try to meet you with this and check it out. But I tried. That's all I can say. I tried. Like maybe I got 20, maybe 30 minutes into the first episode. I don't know, but I just felt like brain cells were dying by the minute as I was watching that show.
It's a cultural experience, I will say. I will say I think I liked last season better for sure. I could only about get like maybe 34, 36 minutes into the first episode. And then also I learned while I was traveling because it came out while I was traveling that in Europe they don't put out the USA season until it's all fully like the whole season is fully aired. So I was on like wherever trying to find the episode. So I got 30 minutes in, couldn't finish it anymore. I got back. I will say that I watched more than half of episode 8 the other night to see if I can revive it, but I don't know. I've been watching all the updates for it. Like, it just hasn't drawn me in the way that last season was so messy and there were so many memes and it was so funny. And I'm just not getting that same vibe from this season. So we'll see though. I'm gonna be
Okay.
open-minded. I'm still down to watch an episode if it interests me. I think it's still messy this year, just not the type of messy that I was expecting or wanting, I guess. So we'll see. I don't know. You guys might hear more about that. You might not. I'll let you know. Right now, I'm not really feeling it, but we'll see. We'll see. We haven't gotten to like movie night and Casa Amor yet, so it could be coming. We'll see. But with that, do you have anything else that you want
I mean, I
to
always have
update us
something
on?
else. Nothing at the moment. I'm
Well, I
I'm
think
looking forward to looking at all of your photos from your
yes,
travels and hearing some more about that. And I know you're going to be making just some content posts
yes.
on social about those.
I will be. making some posts, especially about some of the different things that I saw, maybe about some things to do. If you're looking at doing one of these trips anytime soon, maybe about what I packed, things like that, anything to help anybody out. And, I had an awesome time, but I think we're out of time for this episode, but if you want more, you can find more at Coolwoman Central on TikTok and Instagram. You can also message us on there about any other topics you want us to discuss, or drop us an email at coolwomancentral@gmail.com. Stay cool, stay inspired. Look for any links. We always drop our links in the bio. So if you're looking for anything in particular, I know we have a few links for Jordyn Woods and the Knicks. I'll make sure to link her bag, things like that, and all of my pictures. So yeah,
Awesome.
we will see you guys soon.
Bye.